Today we're going to talk about the challenging third tone, and this third tone actually just confuses lots of students, and let's take a look. So when you first started learning Chinese, and this is what you saw and this is what you learned, the third tone is pronounced this way, which is a falling rising tone, which is like a faster way of saying for example, the word I or me in Chinese is 我, right? And that's totally cool when the third tone is pronounced in isolation, which means if you just pronounce the third tone, like utter one third tone sound, like when you say good, 好, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 五, no problem. However, in real, natural, and connected speech, the third tone is actually seldom fully pronounced. The third tone is usually just pronounced halfway, only the dropping part, and we call this the half third tone. So instead of saying 我, that with that like dipping and rising, the half third tone, the natural third tone, is just 我. All right? Okay, so now you're wondering, so why do Chinese people do that? Okay, let me tell you this first. The half third tone is actually how Chinese people, including myself, actually pronounce the third tone in real life and in natural speech. Now you're saying, why do we do that? And my theory is that we Chinese people, by pronouncing the full third tone, it's just taking too much time and it will slow down our conversation. So instead, we just half-ass it. Okay, so let me give you a little shortcut. Just look at this chart. The half third tone already starts very low and it needs to go even lower. And you see the little drop here is actually very small and it's so subtle that our human ears can barely pick it up. So we might as well just consider the third tone as a low flat tone like this chart shows. All right. So now, please don't be confused. You're saying, the most of the time I was learning is like this one. Now you're saying like this is actually the third tone. I'm confused. Don't be. So this one is when the third tone is pronounced in isolation. This is the standard academic one. But in real life, this is how third tone is pronounced the majority of the time. So now I need you to do me a little favor. Scratch off this image from your mind. Okay, I'm going to do something extreme. Okay, gone. What you need to do is remember the third tone as this little flat tone. So how is this little flat low tone sound like? Okay, we all have our voice range, like high range and low range, right? What you need to do is to find the lowest range, the lowest point of your voice and stay there for like half a second. So for me, like my lowest point is and I just stay there for half a second. Repeat after me. That's what the third tone should sound like in real life natural speech. So a good way to think about it is this. If someone accuses you of something that you didn't do and you feel quite innocent, you say, I don't even know how to rebut your thing. I don't know what to say. And that's the third tone. So basically, when you say the third tone in a natural way, it's very uncomfortable for your throat because this is not how someone naturally talks, right? So repeat after me. Low flat tone is the third tone. All right? Okay. So before we start drilling, doing tons of exercises and doing lots of drills, there are two resources I want to mention to you. Our friend Ole from hackingchinese.com and John Paston from Sinosplice have both written really two wonderful articles on the topic of half third tone, and we list them in our description part of the Google Hangout, so do check them out. Okay, time for the drills. All right. Let's talk about the 喜欢, which is to like. You know how to say to like, right? Lots of people say 喜欢. How Chinese people really talk is 喜欢, 喜欢. Okay, 欢 is the first tone. It's the high-pitched flat tone as you learned before, right? And some people say, okay, Yangyang, I'm not sure. You say high-pitched flat tone. Then how high do I go with the first tone? So this is my answer. Think about in English, you say, if someone asks you a question, what are you going to do tomorrow? Are you coming to the party? You say, maybe. That maybe is how high the first tone should go for you. Because different people have different voice range and tones are completely just all very relative. So you need to find your own voice range, and the lowest is your third tone, and the high one, which should be as high as when you say, well, maybe. That may or is your first tone that you should pronounce. Get what I'm saying? So the difference between the third tone and the first tone really is just how high or how low it is. The first tone is really the high-pitched one, but it's like flat. And the third tone is flat and low. So it should be maybe, So to like is 喜欢, 喜欢, that's my lowest. Maybe, 喜欢, 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 喜欢. Okay, so when you practice the Chinese tones, what I suggest is that for each tone, you associate that tone with a one English sound or word. Preferably, they're all different. So in the case of tone, third tone and first tone, third tone, just think about, I don't know what to do, the lowest voice, right? And the first tone should be just the, I don't know, that which you can say maybe, okay, may, 喜欢, get what I'm saying? All right, let's see a lot more. Every day, 每天, 每天, 每天. Good. All right, so let's move on to the different tone. The third tone and the second tone. Lots of English speakers find it difficult to hear the third tone and the second tone. Actually, it should be pretty easy. The third tone basically is just like the lowest part of your voice. If you hear something really low and stays there, that's the third tone. But if it's a second tone, it starts very low, but it goes up. So it's like when you say, huh? What? It's really like the question tone in English. So daughter is 女儿. The lowest part of your voice, third tone, and then you say, huh? So when the third tone and the second tone combined, you should pronounce it as like the English word yeah, yes, 女儿, 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 女儿. So if you're not sure how to pronounce the U sound, we have a Google Hangout dedicated to the explanation of U. Do check it out. And I think I did a pretty good job there. All right, let's move on. Since the... 喝水. Okay, since the second tone and third tone are the difficult ones, we're going to do lots of examples on that, okay? So America is 美国, 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 美国. Good. Let's move on. If someone is a good person, you call him 好人. 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 非常好. Okay. Let's move on. How are you recently? I'm so busy, very busy. 很忙, 很忙, 很忙. So really, each time when you see a pinyin, just always think about the corresponding English sounds. The third tone is like and the second tone is what? What? 很忙. What? 很忙. 非常好. Okay, now let's talk about the third tone plus third tone. We talked about it before, the tone changing rule in our last Google Hangout. Please check it out. We say that when the two third tones are together, the first third tone becomes a second tone. So you're very familiar with this. Hello is ni, like third tone ni and hao, right? Together, the first one should become the second tone, and the second one still remains the third tone. So if it's a second tone, that'll be ni hao, low flat tone. Ni hao. What ni hao. What ni hao. We're gonna practice more in just a bit, okay? All right, first tone with the fourth tone. Oh, I'm sorry, third tone with the fourth tone. So third tone, the lowest part of your voice, low flat tone, chao, chao, chao. And the fourth tone is an emphatic tone, which sounds like sure, no, okay? Say sure, and say sure, sure. 炒饭, 炒饭, it means fried rice. 炒饭, 炒饭, 炒饭. Very good. Okay, so it sounds like, so basically when the third tone and the fourth tone is combined, it sounds like, aha, now I understand. Aha, 炒饭, aha, 炒饭. Always fall back to the associated English sound. Pinyin and tones are not that scary because you can find equivalent to English. So this is something you should be familiar with. Don't be intimidated by tones. Okay, let's continue. I am so and so. 我是 Yangyang. I am Yangyang. 我是 aha. 我是 非常好. And to treat somebody is 请客 aha. 请客 请客 请客. Okay, so my treat 我请客 low flat tone 我请客我请客我请客. Perfect. All right, now it comes to the neutral tone. And I saw someone ask me the question about the combination of the third tone and the neutral tone, and here is that. Okay, to say your or yours is 你的 你的. Basically, when a neutral tone is combined with the third tone, the neutral tone is just pronounced like the first tone, but shorter. So it should sound like 你的 你的 你的. So they're both like flat, right? Like low flat and high flat. But the high flat, the neutral tone is only short and sweet, and it's only half of the beat. So 你的 你的 你的. Good. My or mine. 我的 我的 非常好. An older sister. 姐姐 姐姐 姐 low first tone, remember? Low flat tone. Forgive me. Low flat tone. 姐姐姐 like the first tone but half. 姐姐姐姐. Okay. 我们 we were us. 我们 我们. Good. All right. Okay. Now let's put the third tone in the final part of the word. So to drink water is 喝水. So the first tone is very high, like when you say maybe, right? 喝水 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 喝水. Perfect. 喝水. Okay, 喝水 喝水. All right. Okay, to start is 开始开始开 maybe 是 my lowest part of the voice, right? 开始. Okay. And Hong Kong is 香港香港香港. Hong Kong is 香 港香港 hmm, 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 hmm. First tone, third tone, first tone, third tone. Okay. Okay, if. So now it becomes the second tone and the third tone. The second tone is like when you say, huh? Or what? The question tone, right? And the third tone is basically the flat, low tone, low flat tone. 如果哈如果如果如果如果如果 Okay. And if you ask someone, hey, don't go, leave, don't leave, stay, you say 别走别走 Second tone, huh? And so is the third tone, it's like low flat tone. 别走别走 Good. Something that's perfect is 完美完美 huh? What? 完美完美完美 Okay, all right. Beer 啤酒啤酒啤 what? 酒 lowest part of your voice 酒酒酒啤酒啤酒啤酒 Good. All right. 5 o'clock. Okay, since this is both of these are third tones, the first third tone becomes a second tone. So second tone and the third tone, okay? The third tone is a low flat tone, so it's 5点5点5点5点5点 Okay. And where is something is okay. 2 third tones, the first third tone becomes a second tone, so it's na, and third tone stays the same, and that's like low flat tone. 哪里哪里哪里 Remember, if someone comments on your Chinese and say, oh, your Chinese is so good, you can say, 哪里哪里 Well, not really. I don't really say where is it? I don't see it. 哪里哪里 That's a way to show humility. Okay, 哪里哪里 Perfect. Here, 这里 Remember, the fourth one is like saying sure or no. Very emphatic. 这里这里这里 Lowest part of my voice. 这里 And there. 那里那里 Good. And computer. 电脑电脑电脑 Perfect. Okay, let's see some phrases or sentences. Do you want to drink water? I'm drinking some water. 喝水 And do you want to drink water? Do you want some water? 喝水吗喝水吗喝 first tone. So, like when you say maybe and this is the lowest part of your voice And when the neutral tone is followed by a third tone, basically it's just a very high-pitched first tone but shorter. La 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 喝水吗喝水吗喝水吗喝水吗喝水吗 All right. If you say something, too perfect, it's so perfect, you say 太完美了 Okay, let's say, let's just take a look at this, okay? 太 emphatic, like saying sure, no, This is like when you say what or huh, 太晚 And then third tone is just like low first tone. I'm sorry, it's the low flat tone. So me. And then the neutral tone is like the first tone, but half. It's like saying, sure. What? Maybe. Okay, it's like, okay. No. What? No. What? 太完美了，太完美了。No. What? 了，太完美了，太完美了。Okay, 非常好。I think there are only 2 more, and we're done here. Okay. Okay, to say he's very busy, that's first tone high pitched, like when you say maybe. And then the second tone is what? 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 You say it. What? 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 他很忙。What? 他很忙。他很忙。He's very busy. Okay, now say it faster. 他很忙。他很忙。Wow, I can just sense that you are pronouncing it like a native speaker already. Okay. This one. Do you have water? So you see there are like 3 third tones here. I mentioned this before in our Google Hangout, but I'm just going to say it again. So when you see like more than 3 or 4 third tones together, so how do you group them, or how do you know which third tone should be changed into a second tone? So that really depends. Different people will pronounce it differently. For example, if I group this 有水 have water together, then this one will be changing into a second tone. So that will be 你有水吗, right? So that will be the 3, 2, 3. 你有水吗? 你有水吗? What? 你有水吗? Okay, but if I group it in a different way, for example, if I put you have together, see, and consider that as one unit, and then you need to change the first third tone to be a second tone, so that'll be 2, 3, 3, and neutral tone, and that'll be 你有水吗? 你有水吗? Second tone, what? And 你有水吗? 你有水吗? Okay, woo! Do you get a sense of how the third tone works now? And I really, really hope so. Third tone is kind of really confusing for people, but it doesn't have to be. Just remember, the third tone is just a low flat tone. Go to the lowest part of your voice and you'll find it. And it sounds like very uncomfortable and it's kind of ugly, but that's our third tone. So when you hear Chinese people talk next time, look for the low part of the voice, and that's usually the third tone. Hi, thanks for watching this video. Now you know all 4 Chinese tones. Aren't you proud of yourself? Well, I recorded some really useful MP3 files to help you practice all 4 tones. So click here to get them for free on our website, or you can click here to go to the next lesson, or you can click down below to subscribe to our channel. We have new videos coming out every week. Alright, 下次见，再见，加油！